Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? It's been a little while since I've seen all of you. Yeah, just because of the way that I do streams, right? Just because of the way that I do, I schedule my streams. So I've been doing a sort of weird thing where I try and stream towards the end of the week. So what's been happening is like that the streams are coming across, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that sort of thing. And it will be no different this week. And I think that going forward, it probably might be like the best way for me to handle it. The idea of the evening Thursday, Friday streams, along with perhaps afternoon Saturday and maybe Sunday streams in the future, depending on how things are going for me, right? But I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's a little bit of a difficult schedule to keep up with because it's like evening on the weekdays and then afternoon on the weekends. And then if, for example, you are from the United States or maybe from Europe or something like that, then the hours are completely turned around. So I know it might be a little bit difficult to catch all the streams, but I do think that it's probably the best way that I can do things a little bit consistently, right? Because for the last month or so, I've definitely had, last few weeks have been all right. But, going into the new year, I had, a little bit of a break going into the new year, and I think first couple of weeks of January, I was a little iffy on when I was streaming, but I think that now I have sort of gotten myself into a nice groove where I've done, a few weeks in a row, like 3 weeks or whatever, where I have consistent times, where I have consistent streams, and that's definitely something that I want to roll more into the future, into coming weeks, into coming months, especially now that I have a little bit of a direction of, what I want to do with the channel, where I want to take it, what kind of content I want to make specifically, right? Because the next few months are actually kind of busy. I've talked very extensively, and this is one of the reasons why I'm back to playing Pokemon again, by the way. I've talked extensively about the international challenges that are happening and being hosted by the Pokemon Company. And what's happening is that, we're going to be having a tournament every month for the next 3 months. So this month, and then March, and then in April. And in each of those months, I'm going to take a team and, outfit it with like a particular gimmick, right? A particular Pokemon to use, and then we'll be going ahead and using that to try and score some victories. And I don't know whether we'll be able to win games or not, but it will definitely be fun to try. And it's definitely something where I feel that having that kind of, challenge or restriction or whatever may make for more interesting streams, because the idea is that I want to go a little bit off meta. I don't just want to, do exactly what everybody else is doing, which is, load up on Kyogre, load up on Zacian, and that sort of thing, like Incineroar and all of that sort of thing. Though, for the time being, because we haven't started the tournament yet, what I'm going to be doing is a little bit of practice, right? A little bit of practice, not just with my team, but with like a rental team, because I need to relearn how to play the format. I need to relearn how to play competitive Pokemon, right? And so, I've got a rental team and I want to make as much progress as I can up the ranked ladder until, the tournaments start, and then we can move on to the tournament team. But that will be a little bit of fun, and I've got that sort of charted out for the next couple of months, I guess, right? Because there's going to be tournaments happening for the next 3 months. But on top of that, there are a lot of games, right? On top of that, there are a lot of games that I'm actually kind of interested in terms of, games that are coming out, games that I can stream, right? We still have God of War to finish, right, guys? We also have Expeditions Rome, that I'm not playing this week, unfortunately. Maybe I'll play a little bit in my off time, and then we can, sort of skip ahead a bit. But we have God of War that I'm currently finishing, or that I'm currently trying to go through, and that I'll be playing for like the rest of this week, right? The other thing is that there are some games coming out, right? There's games coming out at the end of this month, at the start of next month, and two in particular that I've got my eye on is, number one is Elix 2. So Elix 2, if you guys are familiar, or maybe you guys might not be, but Elix 2 is an open world RPG developed by Piranha Bytes, which is a European developer. So it's basically this kind of classic open world Eurojank. type of game. And I've played Elix 1 and I enjoyed it a reasonable amount. And I've been a fairly big fan. Have I? I've been an appreciator. Maybe not. Maybe fan is going a little bit too far, guys. But I've been an appreciator of Piranha Bytes games in the past. You know, they developed the Risen series. They've developed the the Gothic series, and I played Elix 1 and I had a decent amount of fun with that. So I'm looking forward to Elix 2 and seeing how that pans out, because I don't know if you guys saw that they had this trailer, right? They had this trailer to promote the game, and it was awful. It was like I stepped into a time warp. It was like I stepped back into the year 2009, where you had like sort of like edgy, out of touch, kind of generic trailer rock music, and it was actually disgustingly bad, right? Because even at the time, it was, even for like 2008, 2009, this is like schlock, kind of nonsense. And they were playing it, last year, they were playing it this year. Like they wanted to advertise their game based on this sort of awful promotional trailer. And and because of that, I became more interested in the game. Because it was so awful, I became more interested in what was going on in development. And, it's coming out soon, so I'm like, okay, I might as well put aside some money and I might as well play it, right? I might as well play it. But what I will say as well, the other game that I'm pretty interested in is Elden Ring. Yes, guys, Elden Ring, the big flavor of the month that's soon to be released, right? It's coming out, I think, at the end of this month. But it's like my desire to play Elden Ring isn't from the fact that, oh my god, I'm such a big Dark Souls nerd, I've played every Dark Souls. No, it's actually the opposite. I haven't really put any time, I haven't put any significant amount of time, maybe like half an hour, into playing any Souls game. So playing Elden Ring will basically be my first time taking my time through the series, right? I haven't played any of the Dark Souls game. I didn't play Demon Souls. I didn't play Bloodborne. I didn't play Sekiro. I haven't played any of those games, right? And so I think that playing Elden Ring will be, a nice experience, right? Because it's something that, I'm not used to in terms of the style of game, and the other aspect is that while I'm not too familiar with Souls games and the Souls type of game, right? I am very familiar with A Song of Ice and Fire. I have read the books, right? At least, up to whatever they're doing now. I can't remember the name of the last one. But the one that's supposed to be coming out is called, The Winds of Winter. So on one hand, it's like I have zero experience with the Souls franchise. I have zero experience with FromSoft games, and I'm interested to see how I would handle playing it for the first time. And on the other hand, the other aspect of interest comes from the fact that I am a fan. I have read, A Song of Ice and Fire, and, George R. Martin, right? The original release date of The Winds of Winter, which is the next or the upcoming novel in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, the book that is the basis for Game of Thrones, right? Or maybe I should just call it Game of Thrones so that people would know what I'm talking about. You're like, A Song of Ice and Fire? What's this about singing? What's this about ice? What's this about fire? No, it's Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones, right? So the the original release date for The Winds of Winter was 2017. 2017, guys. It was supposed to come out 5 years ago, for God's sake. 5 years ago, and it's still not out. And not only is it not out, we don't have any indication of when it's going to come out. He doesn't even talk about it. We don't even know if he's still working on it. And then in the meantime, he can, go ahead and get hired by FromSoft and work as an advisor. Work as an advisor to Elden Ring. He can, witness secondhand, like the rest of us, how Game of Thrones really, truly went down the shitter in the last couple of seasons. I would argue that, I would argue that Game of Thrones, the TV series, wasn't really on the right track for a long time. But, it really fell off the wagon in the last couple of seasons, especially, right? And so he's seen, like, the destruction of all his life's work. And then he's chosen to, work on side projects instead. Elden Ring and Dunkin' Egg and all of this peripheral stuff, when his baby, his legacy, his main novel series is just sitting there, left, ignored, right? So as someone who who is a fan of A Song of Ice and Fire, I would like to know what George R. Martin has been doing with his time while he has been ignoring, the novel, the series of books that I love. So it'll be fun to take a look at Elden Ring and see, how the lore is and everything, because I've seen like a decent amount of content. I've seen a lot of streams. I've seen I actually see like a few speedrun videos here and there, right? And I can probably get into a little bit more detail about that later. If you guys are interested, I'm not sure if anyone would be. I'm not sure if anyone would be, but I do watch a decent amount of like speedrun content and stuff like that. It's just impressive, and I like the way that people document, all of this, all of this optimization, min-maxing, and this try-harding and stuff. But I would like to see, what George Martin has been doing with his time instead of writing his book. So Elden Ring, definitely, and what was the other game? Elix 2 are the two games that I am most primarily interested in for the next month, right? And that's like on top of the Pokemon stuff. So I'm not going to abandon the Pokemon stuff because there's going to be a tournament every month. So I feel like for the next few months, in terms of games, in terms of streams, like, things are pretty wrapped up in terms of the kind of stuff that I want to do. And that's not necessarily saying that's the only stuff I'm going to do, right? A little plug, a little self-plug, a little self-shield, because I'm so good at that. I do plan on having like a special Valentine's stream next Monday. Next Monday, my time. I don't know what time it will be for you guys, but it will be the usual time. Not the usual day, because I normally don't stream on Mondays. But, I'll be doing like a special Valentine's stream, and we'll go out, and, I'll be shy and embarrassed, and, and spit out some lame lines, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. Maybe I'll sing a song or two. We'll have a good time. But, I do have some other streams planned that's not necessarily just, playing games or whatever. But, I think for the next few months, I have sort of got things locked down. Because, I don't know. I was pretty, I don't know, like the last, I would say on the turn of the year, right? I was probably going through some stuff in the background that obviously I don't want to bring up because, whenever I'm on stream, I want to be, sort of like, do I want to be high energy? I don't know, but I want to be in a mood where like I'm entertaining you guys are having fun, watching, lurking or whatever, but towards the start of the year, I was like, I was going through a few things, and, it's just the idea that as the year ends and you step into a new one, you sort of evaluate what you're doing, and then, you think to yourself, okay, so what's my path forward? What kind of year am I going to try to have? What sort of things am I going to do different from last year? And so, I had a few questions that I wanted to ask myself with regards to like VTubing and regards to like other things in my life and everything. But yeah, I feel like in the last, few weeks, I have probably hit like a decent sort of stride when it comes to VTubing, when it comes to like putting out content and that kind of thing. Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about, I don't know if anybody's familiar, if anybody's aware. So there's another VTuber out there. His name is Professor Bloom, and he's a pretty cool guy. He does like Doom content. So if you're familiar with like the old school Doom, the really old Doom, he does a lot of like Doom mods and Doom modifications. He also does a lot of musical based content, because the VTuber character is like a musical teacher, or a barbershop performer, and he is an actual music, I think he's a music teacher, but I know that he sings for a living, which is good enough, right? But he's definitely very into music, and he had a birthday stream recently, and I'd been working on and off on a project for like 2 months, right? Because he had been doing some retro content. He was beating this game called Yonoid, and it's an old game for the NES and that kind of thing. And he had this like really cool kind of narrative arc where he would emulate Game Center CX, if people are familiar with that. It's like a sort of Japanese culture flavor kind of variety show. It's not a variety show, but it's like a Japanese culture kind of show oriented around video games and the adventures of Arino, who is like the host and everything. And Bloom had sort of his mini arc, with a couple of streams to do with Yonoid. And I had a project that I was working on and off for like 2 months, where I wanted to edit together his run and his streams, so that I could get it to like to basically where it would emulate like a Game Center CX episode, right? And I had initially given up on it. I think it was like in December. I was like, no, I can't do this. There's too much footage to go through. I can't. Like, I'd gotten part of the way there, but I said to myself, you know what? You know, I'm dealing with like other stuff at the moment. You know, my time is. I don't know, it maybe sounds snobby to say, but I really didn't have the time to work on it. I had to dedicate myself to other things, right? And so, you know, I put it to the side, and I was sort of disappointed with myself. You know, like, oh man, I had this project, I had this cool idea, and I wanted to see it through. You know, and I had to put it to the side, you know, and I had to sort of like deal with that among other things, because it's the idea that you set yourself some goals, right? And you know, putting that aside was a little bit demoralizing at that time of year, because as I said earlier, you know, at the end of the year, you tend to look back on the year that you had, right? You tend to look back on the year that you had and you say, okay, you know, I did this, I didn't do that, or whatever. And then how am I going to improve next year? What am I going to do next year? How am I going to be different? How am I going to be better? You know, am I going to get worse? Like that kind of thing. And so giving up on that project, like so close to the end of the year, felt like I was having to like force feed myself a giant L right at the end of the year, because you know, it's something that I just wanted to work on in my own free time, and I know that nobody, you know, really cares about that kind of thing, but, you know, just for my own personal sake, the idea that, you know, I put together this, you know, big project by myself for somebody else's sake, you know, it's not for me, right? And then so, when I got contacted to, you know, for, in the lead up to Bloom's birthday, I got contacted by Glimmy. Glimmy Cat, she's a VTuber as well, and she says to me, you know, here's a kudo board, right? Kudo board for Bloom and that kind of thing. And you know, on one hand, it was nice. It was nice to be invited, because you know, I think that's like the first kudo board that I've been invited to. So it was nice to get, you know, nice to feel part of the community rather. But on top of that, it was like my own personal redemption arc, you know, because I don't know. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far on the metaphors and the analogies, but like, when it came to the stream, when it came to Bloom's stream and Yonoid playthrough, he had 2 streams, and at the very end of the first stream, he put so much time. It was like freaking 12, 13 hours, and he failed. He failed really hard at the end of that stream, so he had to take that L, and he had to hold on to it until he could redeem himself, right? And then on the next stream, he was able to get it, and you know, the victory is sweeter, you know? Victory is all the more sweeter when you taste success after having to swallow defeat, right? Because it's the idea that you have grown and you have improved to the point where you can get the W. And whether we're talking about like life in general, whether you're talking about school or career, or even just a video game, like in this case, you know, it's always good to succeed after tasting defeat, because you can appreciate that success a little bit more, right? And so that's exactly how I felt personally when I was able to scramble everything that I did together. I salvaged all the footage and everything, and I put it together, and I was able to get it up on the kudo board before his birthday, because like I gave myself a little bit of a deadline, and I was able to meet that deadline this time, right? I grinded and I made sure that, you know, everything's together, and you know, I couldn't even watch the stream live, I couldn't even watch the birthday live, so I don't really know like how it was received or anything, but the fact that I was able to put something together for him, you know, just wish him happy birthday in my own way, you know, it was as much for me, I guess, as it was for like, you know, doing something nice for someone else, because I was also salvaging, you know, I was also salvaging my own situation and, you know, picking up a W and taking a W from the L that I held earlier. So that was a nice sort of confidence boost for me, because it just reaffirmed that, you know, if I put my mind to things, I can actually accomplish, you know, what I'm trying to do. So, you know, it's just a little nice kind of pick-me-up. And I don't know if you guys are, you know, going through things like that, but, you know, it's always important to remember that regardless of what you're going through in life, you know, you have to sort of acknowledge and just sort of appreciate the, you know, the W's that you get, you know, whether it's a very small thing, whether it's something, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to eat so-and-so today, or, oh, I'm going to wake up early and get some exercise, something small to something larger, like a large scale project, or, doing something for uni or something along those lines. It's important to recognize and appreciate our own W's, because, there are not many things out there that can lift someone's confidence as much as, understanding and accepting that, you succeeded at something that you put your mind to, right? So definitely, it was a little bit of a pick-me-up, and I'm glad I did it. And I hope Bloom liked it, and I hope, if people were watching the stream at the time, like I said, I didn't get to because I was at work, but, I hope people did enjoy. But yeah. Okay, what was I talking about again? Pokemon. No, but I have a few other projects that I am wanting to do over the next few months. And one of them is, like the Valentine's stream. So I hope as many of you people are there as possible, because, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good evening. If you're, oh, I don't know, I guess it's a time zone thing, but I was going to say that, if you're worried about, spending Valentine's Day alone, well, you don't have to worry, because I'll be there. I'll be there spending my Valentine's with you. But it may not even be Valentine's for everybody, right? Because the time that I stream is 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And I think maybe in the, there are some countries where it still hasn't hit the 14th of February when the stream goes live. So it might not even be Valentine's Day for you guys, but it will be Valentine's Day for me. So I'm hoping that you guys are there, and I hope that you guys enjoy. But with regards to like, other streams and that kind of thing, I want to do something for Easter as well. Because, I'll have some time off Turtle Corp during the Easter holidays and that kind of thing. But I haven't really decided what kind of stream I'm going to be doing there. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I think for today, right, I've probably rambled long enough, right? For today, we'll be playing a little bit of Pokemon, right? Pokemon Sword and Shield. And further to that, we'll be playing the competitive format, right? Ranked doubles, VGC. We already have a team. I showed it off last week, and it's a cool team. It's sort of like a standard, relatively standard meta kind of team, but there is like, a little bit of a surprise, right? And that surprise is Seismitoad, right? Because, okay, let's get the team up. Let's get the game up. But my thoughts are rambling all over the place. I don't even know where to begin. The one thing that I do want to say, right, is that, when it comes to Pokemon, there is an established meta. And the meta that currently is happening in competitive Pokemon VGC 2022 sort of defies the ordinary logic that you would kind of see if you have not played competitive Pokemon at all, right? So if you play Pokemon primarily for the story, if you play Pokemon primarily for the campaigns or for the cute Pokemon, then the kind of things that will occur in the VGC meta, in the competitive meta game, will be things that, may trip you up a bit, right? And primarily number one is just how many legendaries there are in the metagame. I think that the majority of teams, based on the current rule set, would have probably 3-4 legendary Pokemon in their team. And so it's kind of amazing when, you're playing through the campaign and, you get a legendary Pokemon, and it's like a really big deal, right? It's a really big deal. And to the point where a lot of people playing the game will not use legendary Pokemon to beat the game because, it feels like cheating, right? Because the stats, the base stats, the abilities, and the moves that legendary Pokemon get compared to regular Pokemon is so out of whack that legendary Pokemon are noticeably stronger, right? But when you're playing a format of Pokemon where the goal is to win, and only to win, then of course you're going to find people that stack legendaries together if they have good synergy, if they have powerful moves, if they're strong against other Pokemon in the metagame, then of course people are going to stack legendaries. And so the majority of teams will have like 3 or 4 different legendaries, possibly less, possibly more, but it's definitely something that a lot of people who are not that familiar with competitive Pokemon get tripped up by. And it's something that I think that, you know, it's something that you need to accept and just, like, get used to, I guess. Maybe that's a bad way of putting it, but it's something that is very commonplace. But we'll just get right into the games in just a moment. It's one thing to enjoy leisurely battles, but real battles can be a severe trial. Truly strong trainers sometimes must be prepared to choose Pokemon that can win, rather than their favorite Pokemon. So, if you're not rolling up with a Pokemon that's as powerful as a Kyogre, or if you're not running with two Pokemon that's not as powerful as a Kyogre, or like a Groudon, or a Zacian, or something like that, then you're probably just gonna get rolled over, because the difference in base stats, you know, is just too big to surmount if you're just using, like, you know, your quote-unquote favorites, right? Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with the Pokemon that they love best. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit of fun there. Hello! I am a Chibi model. My model has changed. I've gotten a little bit of an update, right? Hello! I am Chibi Toru. Maybe I'll think of a name. Small Toru, I guess? I don't know. Maybe I'll think of a name at some point. But yeah, I've gotten a little bit of an update to my model. Oh, it's not an update. It's a new model, full stop. I'm really happy with this model. So, my friend Kenja, I think he might be in the stream, I'm not sure, but my friend Kenja has been working on a chibi model for me in the background, and it's still currently like work in progress, so it's not done yet. Don't get me wrong, it's not done yet, but there'll be more to this. Oh my god, you got a new model? Yes, Shife. Yes, how are you going today, Shife? How are you today? But yes, my friend Kenja, he is learning, you know, how to do like live 2D stuff. He wants to learn, become a better artist, and you know, learn rigging and that kind of thing. And as you know, as part of his process, he's been working on a model for me, and I'm really grateful. It's still work in progress, so it's not completely done, but as you can see, it is functional. It is functional, and I'm really, really happy to show it off. And I know that a lot of people gate models by, you know, like special events and that kind of thing, but I got too impatient. I don't want to wait until it's fully completed, right? I just want to show it off now and bring it into streams now, because I really like it. It's really cute. It's really cool. It's really funny. And I want to use it, not just in my streams, but maybe in pre-recorded content in the future. And, you know, I thought to myself, let's just bring it in. I got raids tonight, so I'll have to go soon. No worries, Shife. That's all right. I do appreciate you stopping by, you know. I do know that, especially when you got raids and stuff, like Guild Wars 2 raids, right? You know, organizing groups, organizing strats, making sure that you know, people are on the classes and specs necessary to obtain victory, right? I know that it can be very time consuming. At one point, you know, this turtle was also a raid lead many moons ago, and it was very time consuming, and it was just a little bit stressful. So, you know, don't worry about don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Just, you know, look after yourself. You know, keep yourself as low stress as possible, and you know, hopefully you can stay as long as you can, but, you know, if you need to go soon, then definitely I hope you have a good set of raids, right? But yeah, I'm enjoying this model. I'm really enjoying this model. You know, my compliments to Kenja. He really banged it out of the park, and I'm thinking, like, part of me is thinking, you know, maybe I should have saved this for like a special stream, or, you know, or something along those lines, because I initially wanted to, like, you know, I wanted to use this model once I started competing in the international challenges. Well, once I started competing in the international challenges and like started my, you know, quote unquote tournament arc, then I wanted to start using this model, but I got too impatient. Kenja was sharing with me, like, you know, some of the stuff that he got working, and it's like, oh, it's not done, it's not 100%, but we can do this with the model, you can do that with the model. It's got like rigging, like, you know, it's got like the side to side tilt and everything, you know. And I said, yeah, I'm too impatient, I need it now, you know. Yeah, in my channel banner and everything, it's like, you know, slow and steady wins the race, right? You know, you're a turtle, you know, you got to take things chill, you got to be slow. But no, when it comes to this model, I'm very, very impatient because I'm having a lot of fun playing around with this model, and I'm looking forward to making, you know, like skits and, you know, pre-recorded content with this going forward. But I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoy as much as I am, because I'm definitely loving this model right now. It's so cool. It's so cool, and I can't wait until it's, you know, fully done, and Kenjo's done like all of the updates that he wants to do to it, and I can show it off in its entirety, right? And maybe I'll be doing that in like the tournament streams, because those are happening like at the end of next week. So, you know, we'll probably be good to go not long from now. But anyway, oh, before I forget, let's actually get some music up. Because I don't have a lot of in-game music unlocked, so I need to like, you know, hold on, Pokemon Lo-Fi Remix, let's fucking go. So I need to like, you know, just play some background music, hopefully just to break up the monotony of me yelling and screaming and doing whatever. So just random Pokemon lo-fi remixes, and I hope you guys you know, enjoy this sort of stuff in the background. But we'll be going and starting our VGC run now. Maybe we can do a little bit of team building later, right? But we'll start the actual battles right now, and I'll show you the team that we have, right? Because we do have a preset team, and I'm actually enjoying using it a lot. And then I mentioned earlier, right? I mentioned earlier that, you know, in competitive Pokemon, the use of legendaries is very, very commonplace. I did mention that. I've mentioned that quite a bit. We had the skit earlier as well. We can take a look here, guys. There are 3 legendary Pokemon in this team, right? You got the Kyogre, you got the Zacian, which are the 2 most common legendaries, and then you got the Zapdos as well. But, Vic, welcome to the stream. Hello. How are you? Yes. I'm adorable today. I'm very adorable today. How are you doing, Vic? But yeah, Kenjo has been working on this model, and it's still a work in progress, but I'm so happy with it that I've decided to, you know, just stream with it early, you know? Forget like a show off or a reveal or like a special stream. I'm just gonna start using it. I'm really happy with this model. I'm really chuffed. I'm fine. I just streamed my first Genshin playthrough. Nice. Very, very nice. You know, it's funny because like, I've played a few games that sort of share gameplay elements with Genshin. So I've played like Breath of the Wild, right? And I've played what's the other one? Phoenix Immortals, or is it Immortals Phoenix Rising? Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is a Ubisoft game, but it has elements that are, you know, very similar to Genshin Impact, and I need to go back and finish that game one day. But, you know, I don't know too much about Genshin, so, you know, maybe you can just talk a little bit about the story and that kind of thing, because, like, when it comes to Genshin, all I hear is, like, the gacha element, right? Oh, you gotta unlock the waifus or the husbandos and stuff like that, but I never really hear about the story or, like, the gameplay. So, you know, maybe you can, you know, let everybody know, like, what's going on in Genshin, you know? Is it really just, like, the waifus and stuff that keep people playing, or is, like, the story actually really, really good? I don't know. I actually don't know. The model looks really good for a work in progress. Thank you, Rock. Well, you know, definitely compliment Kenjo. I wonder if he's in chat. Let me shout him out. But how are you doing, Rock? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to the stream this evening. Are you still... Maybe this is a bad thing to ask, but like... Oh, I can't tag Kenjo, unfortunate. But are you still like... a little unsure on what kind of games you want to play at the moment, you know? Like, are you still sort of cycling through, like, you know, there's Guild Wars, there's Warframe, there was like the Monster Sanctuary Challenge Run and that kind of thing. Or have you found, you know, a game or two that you're really intent on, like grinding and going after? Let us know. Let us know. But yeah, thank you for coming along, and I hope you're doing well. All right. So my opponent, that's a rough one. Because I want to use, Grimmsnarl is still good here. Grimmsnarl has a really good matchup against a lot of my opponent's Pokemon. It's difficult to justify Seismitoad, unfortunately, because of the Rillaboom. So I think in this particular case, you want to lead with Grimmsnarl and Incineroar. You have Zacian in the back. And I actually don't think that Seismitoad or Kyogre is really, really good. I think actually Zapdos is probably the better idea here, because my opponent's two legendaries are, you know, they're both weak to Grimmsnarl, and then they have a lot of support Pokemon, but they have, you know, oh man, yeah, no. Yeah, like they have Incineroar. So definitely my opponent is going to bring probably Calyrex, Whimsicott, with Rillaboom and Yveltal in the back. That's my prediction. I don't know. That's my prediction. But definitely I do think that Incineroar and Grimmsnarl is my strongest opening duo against this team, right? Against this team. Kind of went back to Guild Wars 2. So many legendary projects. I see. Yeah, because like there's a whole lot of stuff that, you know, you can accumulate and that you can get in the lead up to the expansion, right? Because the expansion's coming out soon, right? Would you be getting that expansion, by the way? Oh, okay, so he's gone. So he must have Indeedee and Calyrex in the back, maybe. Okay, that's not too bad. This is actually okay for me. I'm actually alright with this. Because by leading Double Dark, my opponent really can't do a whole lot here. So I kind of just want to put up a light screen turn 1 and play really defensive. And then what we can do here is like, I can fake out, but I'm concerned that my opponent's going to bring in the female Indeedee. So I actually think the best course of action here is Snarl, because I don't think my opponent can one-hit me, but then I can chip away at their special attack, because these are all special attackers, right? And then it also breaks the Focus Sash, a potential Focus Sash on the Whimsicott, which will mean that, you know, I would be able to take it down next turn with something. He's just gonna max straight away. Oh my goodness, this guy, he wants it. He wants it. He is eager for the turn 1 Dynamax and the big boom, you know, the big Unga Bunga. Let's see how it pans out for him. Oh my goodness, that's a bit loud. Already prepaid. I'm ready. Ooh, interesting. I'm actually... Protect? Okay, that's fair. He was probably anticipating me to use Fake Out on it. I wasn't really interested in Fake Out, if I got to be honest. We get the light screen up, so we're just playing very defensive this turn, right? Because we want to, like, exhaust as much of the Dynamax as possible. And I think that's okay, right? Because, look, that doesn't do half, which means that my opponent is going to need to double into the Grimmsnarl to be able to KO it next turn. And I think that despite that, like, it's fine, right? Because we can use Snarl on Incineroar, and we're good to go. And I think that the rest of my opponent's Pokemon... But we can even be a bit cheeky here, right? We can even be a bit cheeky here and then swap in the Zacian. Or... Zapdos seems a bit risky, because I think Zapdos... we need to build to, like, an endgame Zapdos. And so, I think what we can do here... Why? My opponent might Tailwind this turn? No, he's gonna Moonblast, right? He's gonna Moonblast. And so we can... But then do we really need Grimmsnarl still? I mean... We can try. I still think this is actually okay. Just Snarl. We'll see if my opponent Moonblast or if he does something else. But I still think that Incineroar is such a strong Pokemon right now. So it makes it difficult for my opponent because he can't really hit it that well. Yeah, Tailwind, but my opponent was already going to be faster anyway, so I'm not too bothered, right? We don't need to be too aggressive here. Max Darkness, that's okay. This is going to do like nothing, right? That does nothing. And the special defense drop is going to be mitigated by our Snarl here. And it's Life Orb, so we're fine, right? So Spirit Break into the Whimsicott. I'm gonna do... it doesn't do much. That's alright. Because it's -1 specialist. Oh, I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew it. It was eject button. I knew it. I was so concerned it was going to be trick, eject button, Whimsicott, and that's why I didn't lead with Zapdos. That's why I didn't lead with Zapdos. Alright, so let's see. Please be Calyrex. Please be Calyrex. Please be Calyrex. Let's see. Kenjo, welcome. How are you? I'm trying out the new model. It's great. I'm really loving it. No lie. Please be Calyrex. Please be Calyrex. Okay, it's Incineroar. That's fair. Okay, so now he actually... That's a pretty good turn 2 for him. Oh, that's fine. It's fine because we get the Yveltal. And that's the main thing here. Okay, so... So this is... Airstream into... Interesting. I feel like my opponent's just gonna fake out into the thing. So what we're gonna do... I think... Who's his last? Bro, it has to be Rillaboom, right? I still think Spirit Break into that is fine, and then we can Parting Shot into his Incineroar. Right? We can Parting Shot into Incineroar. Alright, so he... Yeah, okay, this is good. Reason being, I was expecting my opponent to possibly Flare Blitz into the Grimmsnarl, anticipating a Zacian switch out. But this way we can sort of preserve ourselves. So he uses Parting Shot too into my Grimmsnarl. That's okay. Because my Grimmsnarl's not really that useful right now. Not really that useful right now. And so what we can do here is we can start banging. And, yeah, Rillaboom. I knew it. Well, I didn't know it, but, I think this is a pretty good spot, right? This is actually a really nice spot. Spirit Break, that's fine, because it'll be like -3 now, right? Yep. Parting Shot. And then this allows... Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is going to be kind of telegraphed. But I think I still have to take this opportunity, right? We're going to go out... We could easily go out into Zacian. But my opponent's going to bring out Incineroar next turn for the Yveltal slot. So we're actually going to bring out Zapdos, and we're going to pin our opponent a little bit. Because Rillaboom doesn't have the ability to, like, really harm a Dynamax Zapdos. So what we're going to do, in anticipating our opponent to come out with his own Incineroar, we're going to swap out Grimmsnarl for Incineroar, and then we're going to just max Airstream the Rillaboom, because he doesn't have any Pokemon that really takes it nicely. So, you know, it's going to be either neutral or super effective, and having the speed boost as Tailwind starts to run out in my opponent's side is actually going to be pretty useful. So I think that I have definitely selected the right Pokemon, because when you have a Seismitoad and you have a Kyogre in your team, you know, I sort of make my opponent tunnel vision into bringing the Rillaboom. But that's why we have Pokemon like Incineroar, we have Pokemon like Zapdos that sort of like, you know, help mitigate that kind of thing. Alright, I got a raid. Enjoy it. No worries, Shife. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. This is going to be Incineroar, maybe Whimsicott. But I think Incineroar. Yep. That was expected, right? And then what he's probably gonna do... that's like... Yeah, no, we're in a good position, actually. We're in a good position, right? Because we got our Incineroar. We can fake out into his Incineroar next turn. And then... Yeah, because we'll have +1 speed, right? So he'll be in a pretty tough position from here. I think we're doing alright. Guys. I think we're doing alright. Because we'll get +1 speed. Hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate, Kenjo. Thank you for the hydrate. I'll go ahead and do that. By the way, can you guys hear the desktop audio? Like, can you hear like the lo-fi remix? I can't really hear it on my end, so I'm not sure if it's actually going on. Grassy Glide into Incineroar doesn't do a lot. All it does is it procs my berry. You can't hear it? Okay. Let me put it up a bit. Okay. Max Airstream. Bam! Okay, that doesn't KO, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm okay with this, right? I'm okay with this. Alright, let's see what we can do. So, my impression... So how's my opponent get out of this, right? How does my opponent get out of this? Because I honestly think... Rather than... We're faster, so our fake out is faster. Like, surely my opponent knows that. But we're still gonna play it... I kind of don't want to play it safe. I kind of want to go risky here. And... Because I feel like my opponent is... But who does he have in the back? He doesn't really have anybody in the back. So... I'm gonna play... A bit odd. A little bit odd. I think he might swap out Incineroar. Yep. Okay, good. This is really good. Alright, so he's probably going to Parting Shot into my Zapdos, but that's fine because I'll take out the Rillaboom this turn. U-turn? Oh! Who's he U-turning for? Is he U-turning for Whimsicott? Is he U-turning for Yveltal? Either way, he's not going to enjoy this. And I think that we've done a pretty good thing here. Whimsicott? Okay, good. Parting Shot? That's fine. This will probably come out into Yveltal. Maybe Rillaboom, I don't know. But we'll be able to take out Whimsicott this turn, which means that we'll have the speed advantage. Right? Because he won't be able to bring up Tailwind again. Alright. Awesome. Nice. Like, this is probably going to be a longer game, but I think, like, I'm doing okay here. I don't know, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'm not really... As much as I like Pokemon, I can't really say that I'm all that good at it. Okay. No, that's alright. That's really good for me. Okay, nice. So we called him out on that read. Very nice. Alright, awesome. And then, who does my opponent have next? Right, so the Tailwind peters out, which means I will have the speed advantage. Which is quite nice. Because my opponent has no way to outspeed me now that his Whimsicott is gone. I had the feeling that he was going to swap out his Incineroar. So I'm happy with that. I'm very happy. Can you guys hear this music though? Can you hear the music now? Hopefully it's not too loud. I don't want it to be too loud, but like you know, if it's audible, then that's all right. Right? Maybe like that. Is it all right? Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, my opponent's thinking about it. He's taking a good think. He's taking a good time to think. There's probably a Yveltal. Oh, he's just going straight for Incineroar. That's fine. Okay, so in order to sort of like counter this, he sort of needs to make a read on his own. But what we can actually do is we can bring back in Grimmsnarl, and then we're going to max Lightning the Incineroar. The reason we're going to max Lightning Incineroar is because we want to change the terrain and prevent Rillaboom from doing stuff next turn. Like, he can swap out, right? I don't think that this will KO, but I do want to, like, you know, use Grimmsnarl again. Because he is useful fodder. And we can refresh the Intimidates for future turns, which will be quite nice. Alright, let's see what he's going to do. Fake out, and then he's going to Flare Blitz into the slot, right? Or into a slot. Or, I don't know. Maybe he'll do something else. That's fine. Unfortunately, that doesn't KO. But we do get Terrain up, which is quite nice. And we'll see what he does here. Okay, so that's Pinchberry, right? So now he's exhausted his Pinchberry, and he's going to use Parting Shot again. Interesting. But that's also fine, right? And the reason why this is fine is because we're actually just going to swap out the Zapdos next turn. Like, this seems like a very, very slow battle, but we have the advantage right now. Right? Because essentially what I'm doing is I'm just trying to wear down the Incineroar as much as possible until I can bring out the Zacian, and the Zacian will be pretty much unchallenged, right? Because, like, my opponent's probably going to bring out Incineroar again. But then what we can do is we can just Spirit Break into that. Because now my opponent can't use Grassy Glide and threaten, right? So the best thing he can do instead of Grassy Gliding is probably something like swapping out the Rillaboom for Incineroar to get a chance to restart the terrain. So in which case, we can just swap out our Zapdos for Incineroar. And let's just make sure that we're actually doing that, right? So maybe Spirit Break's not even the right play here, but I'm still going to go for it because I want to get... it's not even the right play, actually, but we'll go ahead. There we go. I do want to get that -1 on the Yveltal because the dark attacks are pretty strong. Here we go. Here we go. And having Zapdos in the endgame can be pretty useful. Oh, I actually could have used Eerie Impulse. So that was probably a mistake on my end, but this is still okay. See, that doesn't do a lot of damage. And he's gonna get hurt by the Life Orb. Grassy Glide shouldn't KO. And then we can get the Spirit Break off, which should do a decent amount. Oh, that just KOs. Is that a crit? Not even a crit. That just full KOs. That just full KO. Okay, that should probably guarantee the game. That should probably guarantee the game. Very nice. Very nice. Because what we can do here at this point... is actually... we can almost fodder. Well, but we won't fodder. We won't fodder. I don't like foddering. We can bring out the Zapdos, and then we can fake out into his Incineroar. And I don't know whose Incineroar is faster, but we're gonna try and just fake it out, right? I'm gonna try and fake it out. And then we bring in Zapdos next turn, and then we just spam Hurricane. Or we can spam Thunder, and then, you know, we should win from there. And then we can just bring out Zacian at any time, at any point, and we can win. Okay, so his is faster. Oh, but he chose the wrong Pokemon. Chose the wrong Pokemon. Unfortunate for him. U-turn into Incineroar. That should not KO. Yep. Light Screen wears off. And then we have a pretty simple outcome from here. We Thunder into the Incineroar. We fodder the Grimmsnarl. We bring back in Incineroar next turn. And then we can just keep going from there. So we've grinded this one out. This is actually a pretty tough battle. But we were able to grind this one out. Even if we miss, it doesn't really matter. Because Zacian will pick up all the KOs at the end of the game. Right? So I'm not too concerned. Right? Safety Goggles is not even that important. A Darkest Lariat will maybe do like 30%. Oh, that did a lot more. That's still fine. Reason it's still fine, right, is because we can just keep spamming Thunder, and then we can go for Reflect here. Right, we can just go for Reflect, and it's... Oh! Rillaboom's... Right, Zapdos is the fastest, Rillaboom is second. Right, and then his Incineroar, and then my Incineroar. So we'll go for Reflect. We'll go for Reflect. It's pretty much over from here. Because, like, next turn, I just bring out Zacian and Incineroar, and it's over. Missed, unfortunately. So that's like the, oh, wow, that doesn't even KO. Static, nice. Don't need the paralysis, but it's alright. Oh, please hit the Zapdos, and please get zapped again. Please get zapped. Yeah! Okay, that makes up for missing Thunder twice. We get the double paralysis. Let's go. All right, so we can just bring out. We'll just bring out. We'll bring out Zacian actually, because we've only got 3 minutes, so I want to like accelerate the battle, right? So we can just go. Sacred Sword into Incineroar, and then Spirit Break into Rillaboom, and this should always finish off the match. Right? This should always finish the match. And there we go. There we go. We got our first win for today. Very nice. Very nice. He's gonna play it out though. Props to him. Props to him. He's gonna play out the full game. No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, there we go. There we go. Critical hit didn't matter. Man, the hit that... So, what won us the game were a couple of plays that I made that I felt were pretty safe. And we were able to catch our opponent off guard and really make it difficult for him to, you know, break through our sort of defensive core, right? And what I mean by that is the turn that I got my Incineroar to Flare Blitz into his Whimsicott, because that gave us speed control. And by giving us speed control, it ensured that Zapdos would always go first, always apply pressure, and really made it difficult for my opponents to sort of counter that, right? Because, you know, Zapdos, when it was a max form, it was really doing good work. And then the second one was the Spirit Break into the Yveltal. I wasn't expecting that to KO, but, you know, Grimmsnarl's a pretty good, you know, he's a pretty strong attacker. Stronger than I gave it credit for, so good on him. And that's the first game. That's the first game. And you know, I'm actually thinking, right? I'm kind of like thinking, I really want Grimmsnarl in my team, right? For the tournament. I just enjoy Pokemon that can act as like a supportive Pokemon, but then also have pretty powerful, you know, offensive attacks too. And I think Grimmsnarl kind of falls into that category. Oh, we have. Oh, this is cool. We have a fellow Seismitoad enjoyer here, my friends. A fellow Seismitoad enjoyer. This team is actually pretty similar to mine. Yeah, he's got Thundurus instead of Zapdos, and he's got Rillaboom instead of Incineroar. So it's like mostly the same. And so I want to start this game with do I go Seismitoad? That's so risky. I think Zapdos is probably the ideal. We'll go Zapdos. But don't get me wrong, I do want to bring Seismitoad. And then we're going to bring Incineroar. See, I'm too afraid of bringing Zacian. I'm too afraid of Incineroar because I'm pretty confident that his Thundurus is Defiant Thundurus. So if we end up like, you know, attacking, or if we end up bringing Incineroar to the matchup, you know, what tends to happen is that his Thundurus will get super boosted and we'll just be in a world of hurt. Greetings, JP. Greetings. How are you doing today? I don't know if you've noticed, I'm using a different model today. My friend Kenjo. Yeah, chibi mode. Let's go. Exactly. You know, I thought about having like a special stream for it, but I couldn't be bothered. I was really happy with, you know, Kenjo's work so far. It's still a work in progress, but it looks really good. It's really fun, so I'm just using it straight up, you know. Unannounced, let's go. Oh, yep. So my opponent was probably expecting... It looks so smug, very nice. Yes. Thank you. My opponent's probably expecting, right? He was probably expecting, let's see, what can we do here? I kind of want to just hit. I kind of just want to hit the Seismitoad with a Hurricane if I can, and then we can get Reflect up. Because I need to know whether this Thundurus is a support Thundurus or whether it's an offensive Thundurus. And I think this Thundurus is probably just gonna use Rain Dance, and he's gonna max his Seismitoad, and then he's gonna like max ground into my Grimmsnarl. I don't know why I'm confusing the names now, but we'll see. So I'm not the only one using Seismitoad, guys. He is a threat in this meta, so my opponent's using it too. But let's see. Is this Rain Dance? Yeah, so it's supportive Thundurus. Good. This is good to know. Because it means that I will have to try and weather the storm. And I'll be doing that using my own Seismitoad later. So we'll play defensive, right? And we'll see how we go from here, right? Let's see how much damage this does. Oh, that did so much. But we survived. And then, of course, Hurricane comes out. Good damage with Hurricane. I don't mind that at all. And then I actually think, guys, it's time for a little bit of tech. Right? And when I say tech, Wow, this is actually going to be pretty difficult. But when I say tech, I don't mean... Alright, I don't mean... hold on. Yeah, because I can just bring out my Seismitoad later. Okay, cool. This is fine. Yep. Okay. I'm going to fodder my Zapdos here. I kind of wanted to roost, but I don't think there was any point in doing that. I don't think there was any point in roosting. It's more important... Yeah, Thunderbolt into the Zapdos, because that's what I was expecting, right? That's what I was expecting. What we can do here is... Let's see what my opponent does. I wonder if he catches on to this. I wonder if he catches on to this. Nice, nice. Alright, surely my opponent catches on to this. Alright, wait, let's see who he has in the back. Who he has in the back. Because I'm gonna bring out my Seismitoad, right? And I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him with the biggest max grass that you've ever seen, and it's gonna one-hit the Seismitoad. But if my opponent's smart, he's going to know that I can do the same to him, right? So what we're gonna do is, right, because we're faster than him right now thanks to Scary Face. So we're gonna Spirit Break into this slot, and then we're gonna Max Grass into this slot. Now, my opponent could Max Guard, but then he's out of Dynamax, and then he's got nowhere to go, right? So, if I were my opponent, I would actually consider... Is it necessary to Max Grass here? I'm gonna do it because I don't know if Max Airstream can KO. I don't know if Max Airstream can KO. So, if he... Yeah. This is probably right. I will Max Grass this turn, and then we will Max Airstream next turn. Because I think it's highly likely that my opponent Max Guards and then swaps out the next turn. Or, you know, he like manually swaps out. So let's see what he does. Does he Max Guard here? Oh, he's got Scary Face too! Oh my god, are we speed tying? Are we speed tying? No way! No way! Oh, we survive! We survive! Let's go! Seismitoad is the GOAT! Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Oh, that's amazing! Now, he's probably going to bring out Rillaboom, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let's see if he brings out Rillaboom next. That's amazing. He really did hit you with the reverse Uno. He did, Kenjo. He really did. He really did. But I think we're still okay. I think we're still okay. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really wanted... I'm not gonna lie. I really, really, really wanted to make sure, right? To make sure that we could go ahead and outspeed and get like another turn out of our Dynamax. I really wanted to make sure we could get another turn out of our Dynamax, but I mean it's okay. It's okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So my opponent's last Pokemon is probably Rillaboom at this stage. I feel like it's Rillaboom. We got 2 turns of rain left. All right, which means I feel like he's going to Scary Face my Zacian. We're gonna Light Screen and then just Protect here, and then just Protect. All right, let's see. Because I feel like my opponent's going to Scary Face into my Zacian and then just Water Spout. Yep. And I think Grimmsnarl still dies to this, but I know that Zacian won't die next turn if he does this, right? He won't die next turn because we got the light screen up. So this is what I was in anticipation for. Okay, so he goes down, unfortunately. Now, the thing is, right? The thing is... Zacian is so strong that I could still potentially win this 1-3. So he's going to hit me, but we're not going to go down to Water Spout. Yep. And this should do like 60% maybe. Water Spout, yep. It could be Choice Scarf. That did a little bit more, but I think it's okay with the grassy terrain. Yeah, it's okay with the grassy terrain. Because now the rain stopped. He can't do nearly as much. Alright, alright. The problem is that, like, my opponent is... I can already see how this is going. I don't think I can beat the Kyogre at this point. But let's think for a second, right? Is he's gonna swap out the Kyogre probably for who's his last Pokemon? His last Pokemon might actually be his Zacian. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna Behemoth Blade into this one. So let's see if he swaps out. Thunderbolt, that shouldn't KO. Yep. Oh, okay. We might survive. We survive, okay. I'm very surprised my opponent decided to stay in. Because if I were him, I would have just swapped out the Kyogre. I would have brought in the last Pokemon as a fodder. And then I would have just, you know, KO'd that way. So I'm very surprised. And I think that my opponent might be throwing. In saying that, I don't know. I don't think that I can win. It's just difficult, because who's his last? Okay, his last is Arshid, so we're not winning this one. Unfortunate, unfortunate. So we're sort of like in a pattern where like we're winning one and we're losing one. I was hoping that we could knock out his Seismitoad. I think that if I had simply used Scary Face again, because I wasn't expecting his Thundurus to have Scary Face, right? If I had used Scary Face again on that Seismitoad and secured speed control, then I would have won. Because what essentially happened was that I got 0 value out of my Dynamax, which is really, really unfortunate. I mean, it's cool that we were able to survive and then continue going, right? But it was just sort of unfortunate that I wasn't expecting the Thundurus to have Scary Face. Because usually what happens is that, like, Thundurus would have Eerie Impulse, Thunderbolt, Rain Dance, and Taunt, right? But instead he had Scary Face and a Thunder Wave. So I imagine he had Scary Face instead of Thunder Wave, which is actually the same thing to what we did with our Grimmsnarl. So it was pretty clever tech, and I maybe should have read into that, right? Maybe I should have read into that, but I don't know. That's a difficult thing to really, you know, consider. Fun game though. And, you know, it's something to keep in mind for future games that, hey, they can actually tech that, you know, that ability, that skill, that move. And so it's something that I need to, you know, take into account for the future. But that's rough. I'm not gonna lie. That's rough, guys. That's really, really rough. I'm crushed. Because if I had been able to get that, you know, if I was able to hit his Seismitoad first, we probably just would have won the game outright. Because, yeah, he had Rillaboom, but, well, he didn't even have Rillaboom, right? He had Kyogre. Kyogre wouldn't have done the necessary damage to me, right? I'm in pain. I'm in pain, guys. Pain Toru. I'm in pain. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Hopefully we can find another trainer. If we can't, we're gonna, like, you know, do another sweep and try to find another trainer then. But if it doesn't work even after that, what we'll be doing is like a little bit of team building, right? So obviously we couldn't find any people on the first sweep, but we'll try again on the second sweep. And part of it is just simply because, like, after the first week or so, the majority of people who are interested in this, you know, VGC format are already masterable. They've already put the time into grinding and getting themselves to masterable. Whereas I'm still in Pokeball tier. I'm still in Babby tier. Because I haven't been playing Pokemon Ranked for like several months. Because if you play every month, you get to Master Ball every month, you start already halfway there. But unfortunately, I did not. I did not. But we do find someone, which is quite nice. Oh, and we got a Sun team this time. We got a Sun team. Okay. So who leads? Who leads? I think Zapdos. Zapdos and what's his face? Zapdos and Grimmsnarl is a strong. Is it a strong lead? Yes, it is. Is it a strong lead? Yes, it is. We'll go with Kyogre. I feel bad not going with Zacian or Incineroar is so strong into the Lunala. And it's so... But like, I want to bring my boy. I want to bring my boy, Seismitoad. Don't... But Incineroar is so good here too. Okay. Seismitoad or Incineroar? Seismitoad or Incineroar? Let me think for a second, guys. I really do think Incineroar is better. Okay, I'll bring Incineroar. Incineroar is better. I wanted to bring in Seismitoad so badly, guys. Like you wouldn't believe. I wanted to bring in Incineroar like you wouldn't believe. I'm bringing Seismitoad, but we won't bring in the boy today. I feel like my opponent's just gonna lead Groudon and freaking Charizard, or, you know, a Groudon and Venusaur. But let's see. Charizard Lunala. Okay, surely he goes Trick Room here, right? Surely he goes Trick Room. But you know what? We're actually going to ignore... We're going to ignore. Ignore the Charizard. No, wait. The obvious play here... Wait, no. The obvious play is to take out Charizard, bring in Groudon, right? Bring in Groudon. So... And then just Trick Room. And then it would be like an Iron Ball Groudon or some bullshit. So we'll go there. And then we'll just go with Light Screen. Light Screen just to play defensive. Yep. And then it's going to be Groudon. Yep. And then he's going to Trick Room. And we're going to let him get away with Trick Room. But we're going to lower his special attack so that he doesn't do nearly as much damage. And we've also got the Light Screen up too. Alright, there we go. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Yep. As expected. And then so... I feel like this is Iron Ball Groudon. So I feel like Incineroar... Probably a good play here. And then we can get Reflect up as well. Yep. Yep. Maybe that's not the best choice, but I feel like this kind of defensive play is probably the best that we can do considering the circumstances, right? Because this has got to be Iron Ball Groudon. It has to be Iron Ball Groudon. Okay, Reflect. So what's my opponent going to do here? Brick Break? Oh, clever. He uses his own Light Screen. That's very clever. Very clever. So we're just going to use Snarl here. And then we can just Reflect again, right? We'll Reflect again. Oh, but this Incineroar's already... this Groudon's already -1, right? So... I kind of want to... But who do I bring in? Snarl is still the correct play here. And then I think Spirit Break, maybe. We can sort of like double into the Lunala, maybe? I need to get Chip on the Groudon. Let's go. Because he might bring in someone else for the Groudon. No, he won't. Okay, cool. Snarl does good damage. Now, this might be weakness policy, but I don't think he is. So he's -3 Lunala, so it does basically nothing. Okay, nice. Very interesting. Oh, he missed? Who did he miss? Okay, no, that's okay. I'm 100% okay with that. -3... Reflect? Okay, cool. Cool, we're stalling out his Trick Room pretty decently. And then we can just go Parting Shot. into the Groudon. Huh. 2 more turns. 2 more turns. Okay, good. And I'd want to Spirit Break into the Lunala this time. Because I think it might switch out, or it might attack, and being able to get its stats down before it attacks will be like -4, will actually be really handy. It'll be pretty handy, if I do say so myself. Okay. Let's see what my opponent does. I want to get Incineroar to -2. It'll make it really difficult for him to move around. Yes! Please be Charizard. Please be Venusaur. Magnezone. That's still good. That's still very good. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And then we can go into... Hold on. We can go into Kyogre. I think this is still okay. Kyogre is okay. Because it's not Air Balloon, but it might be sturdy. I'm worried about the Magnezone. Like, what the Magnezone doing? Spirit Break? Good. Now it's -1. And then even if it Precipice Blades here, it's not going to do that much because it's -2, right? So let's see. That's okay damage. Not amazing damage. But, okay. Okay, this is, my opponent could... I'm going for it. You know what? I'm going for it. I'm going for the MLG play. Watch this, guys. Watch this. I'm going for the MLG play. Okay, who's gonna come in? Lunala again? That's fine. Okay, maybe Max Magnezone? Okay. That's also fine. That's also fine. Because I'm just probably gonna max Zapdos, I think. After I smack around the after I smack around the Magnezone. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This should do like 30 to Magnezone. Alright. Let's see. And this also won't KO, which is nice. Also won't KO. Ah, I missed. That's so unfortunate. I guess I got the one that I wanted. Good, good. No KO. No KO. Very nice. Okay. Twisted Dimension return to normal. So, my opponent's probably not going to use Trick Room here, right? I don't think he would. So... I think going out into Zapdos is fine. And then just light screening again. There we go. That probably wasn't the best turn. I think that I should have delayed Kyogre by like 1 more turn, right? But like it is what it is. It is what it is. That's probably like a misplay from my end. Because now, like, Zapdos is probably my best max option, but it makes it really difficult for me to take out the Magnezone without my Incineroar, right? I do have Incineroar, but I have to be very careful with how I use it because my opponent has the Groudon, right? This is still fine, though. Lightning into the Zapdos slot. This should do, like, half. Yep. That's okay. He's going for Trick Room again. Interesting. Interesting, but that's still fine. Opponent's light screen wore off. So we got light screen on our end up. And then we can just do this, right? They might double into Zapdos, which is what I'm really scared about. But, I mean... Wait, did I use Reflect instead of light screen? No, I used light screen. But I think at this point I can't really do a whole lot about it, so... Oh, this is rough. I think I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna have to fodder this. Yeah. I don't like this at all, but I'm gonna have to fodder it. Alright, come back. And then I'll bring out Zapdos later. Alright. Steel Spike, that's okay. That's what I was like sort of afraid. Ah, critical hit. I think that that might have mattered. I don't think. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. We'll find out. We'll find out. Oh, I've painted myself into a little bit of a corner, guys. I think I'm gonna lose this one. I've put myself. Oh, okay. So he's going with light screen. Then we still have a shot. Because what I can do is I can bring out Incineroar here, and then. How many turns of Trick Room do we still have? Like 2 or 4? Sorry, not 4. Probably like... There should be like 3 left or 2 left now. Now that his Dynamax is over. I still haven't used my Dynamax for what it's worth. We still have 3 turns. That's so much. So I need to like go out for Zapdos this turn. I feel like this Lunala is like pure. Like pure just... If I were my opponent, I would swap out the Lunala for Groudon right now. So I'm just trying to angle myself in a way where I can actually do some damage. And I think... So 2 turns after this one. So moving out into Zapdos, using Roost next turn is probably the way. Yeah. Okay, maybe he'll go back out into Charizard. Okay, Groudon. Good. This is what I was expecting. If I wanted to be really MLG, I would have used Flare Blitz on Incineroar to hit the Magnezone. That would have been pretty cool. But I think this is fine too, right? This is also fine because I don't think my opponent has the ability to KO my Zapdos from here. And then so what we can do is we can Roost up. Right? And then parting shot into the Groudon. Because I don't think Groudon has the capacity to KO my Zapdos. And then what we can do with that, right, is... Discharge! Whoa! Whoa, that shouldn't KO. What? Crit! Oh, man. Okay, that loses me the game. That loses me the game. Oh, man. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. But let's find out. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, I'm crushed, guys. That probably loses me the game. I'm unlucky crits, definitely. You know what? Whenever I lose a game, guys, it's because I got unlucky. It's because I got unlucky. Now, I could potentially still win. He's using Brick Break. Okay. We still have a chance. All right, hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Right? The phone must be held for the time being. Because we may have a chance here. We may have a chance. This is... Okay. Okay, this is so... this is so bad. This is so bad. But you know what? I'm gonna call it. This guy is going to withdraw Groudon into like freaking Charizard or whatever. Into a Charizard or like a Lunala. So we're gonna whack it. We're gonna hit this slot. Hopefully KO. Oh, okay, he's not. Okay, then we've lost. Then we've probably lost. This is the last turn of Trick Room though. So we'll see what my opponent does. Because I was hoping that he would withdraw the Groudon into Lunala. And then we would just whack the Lunala with a big Max Geyser. Let's see who he protects. Okay, good. This still works out. Alright, fake out. Good. And the reason why this works out is because I get the hit into Groudon. I don't know if this KOs, probably not, but it should do a lot of damage still. Alright, that did good damage. And so, if my opponent knows what he's going to be doing... Alright, let's see. Let's see if we can pull this off. Alright? Because this is not going to be easy. This is definitely not going to be easy. I think that he's -2, I feel like. So if my opponent knows what he's doing, he'll probably like withdraw Groudon for Lunala. And if that's the case, I want to hit a Snarl, and then I want to hit a Max Geyser. So we're going to do this instead. You have to play so risky. And there's like a 10% chance I win this, and there's like a 90% chance I lose this. But I want to play as risky as possible to try and, you know, call him out on certain moves. And I don't think it's going to work. But, you know, it's worth trying at the very least, right? I mean, why am I playing if I don't try? Okay, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's okay. We did our best. All right, so Lunala will... I'm surprised, though, he didn't withdraw the Groudon. You think you'd want to withdraw it? Oh! Wait, we're still alive. There's still hope, guys. There's still hope. Okay. Now here comes the real question of whether we can do this. I don't think we will, because I need to hit the Groudon. But I don't know. Let's try. Let's see what my opponent does. I would just use Charizard here. He's using Lunala. Okay, to me, that's a mistake. Using Lunala. So we're gonna Flare Blitz. This feels so wrong to me, just ignoring the Groudon, because all he needs to do... Yeah, no, if I had Darkest Lariat instead of this, then I think I would have a chance. I mean, we'll try. Okay. He's gonna get Trick Room up again, but it's not too bad, because his last Pokemon is Charizard, right? And so if I can hit an Origin Pulse, or like do a lot of damage with a Snarl, this Moon Guy's... Okay, it's over. It's over. There we go, game over. Unfortunate. Yeah, I thought he was going to try and get Trick Room up, and I sort of, Zero luck, unfortunately. I think that if that crit never happened, we probably would have had a 50% chance to win this game. Like, it was difficult in the end game. Oh, thank you for the follow, Cadmiz. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. But thank you so much for the follow. What are you up to this evening? I'm playing a little bit of Pokemon, as you can see. Playing and losing, unfortunately. But okay, I want to see. Because, okay, Lumberry Groudon. So this isn't Iron Ball Groudon. I was playing the entire time under the assumption that it was Iron Ball. Is this like reduced nature? It is. Okay. Life Orb Charizard makes sense. Muscle Band Mimikyu. Oh, to reduce speed. Weakness Policy Magnezone. Focus Sash Venusaur. Citrus Berry Lunala. Alright, yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. We'll keep playing. We'll do like 1 or 2 more games, and then we'll do a little bit of team... We'll do a little bit of team building after that. And the reason is because, again, I've got the tournaments coming up soon. I've got a lot of, you know, different content types coming up. You know, we got... we got the date. We got the date next Monday, right? The Valentine's date. And then we got the tournaments later in the week. So I'm going to be pretty busy, and I want to get a little bit of head start. You know, working on the, what do you call it? The team for the tournament. Oh, this is an interesting team. What the heck? I've not seen a team like this before. You know what though? It's an interesting team. But you know what? It's time. It's time, my friend. Better luck next time. I need to wake up early, so good night. No worries, Roke. No worries. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. Hope you take care and see you around. And also before you go, you know, you're back into Guild Wars 2, getting ready for the X Pack. You know, maybe I'll stream the X Pack. You know, maybe that's another game to put on the list. But you know, thank you for coming by, Roke. Hope you take care of yourself, and I'll see you around. Incineroar's too good not to have here, and I feel like Zapdos is probably the ideal last Pokemon. Yeah, Zapdos is like the ideal last Pokemon, so we'll go with the Zapdos. Just because Zapdos has a pretty good matchup into a lot of my opponent's team, right? So, you know, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Now, I think we'll try and get to 15 games. Hopefully, we'll win. We've been on a little bit of a losing streak, but fingers crossed we can reverse that with this game, right? Because we did so well in the last stream. We went 8-2. And then we've like just been losing a lot since then. Okay. Regieleki Gengar. Regieleki Gengar. Regieleki Gengar. I mean, am I really concerned with this like lineup? Does my Pokemon have like does my opponent have like a flying Pokemon? He does. We'll airstream into the Gengar. We'll retreat into... I keep getting underwhelmed by the bulk of Zapdos, right? So like Zapdos is taking more damage than I'm expecting, and I feel like I'm constantly disappointed with how much damage the Zapdos takes. So I'm hoping, praying this time that you know, it actually goes all right. Oh wait, what if my opponent has Energy Ball? Shouldn't be too bad. I didn't realize Gengar gets Energy Ball, doesn't he? So it could be like he has Energy Ball Gengar or like Max Overgrowth Gengar just to demolish my poor Seismitoad. I didn't think about that. Oh man. Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. See, like, look how much damage that does. Why is Zapdos taking so... That has to be choice specs. Surely that's choice specs. There's no way. But this is still fine. This is actually still fine. I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna go into... What is it? That bird? That vulture? What's it called again? Oh, Zacian! I could have just max Quaked into that slot. Is he kidding himself? Wow. Okay. I mean, okay. Oh, wait, no. The fact that he went first means that it was choice Scarf. Focus Sash, and then this would probably be like Thunderbolt into the thing, or like Energy Ball. And that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of Energy Ball. Will-O-Wisp? Oh, okay. I don't care about Will-O-Wisp. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 Alright, sorry. Alright, we're just gonna use Max Quake and one-shot this Zacian. Zacian? Never heard of it. Legendary Pokemon? Never heard of it. You know, the legendary Pokemon, guys? It's called Seismitoad. It's called Seismitoad. That's the legendary Pokemon here. There we go. Okay. So depending on who my opponent's last two Pokemon are, I think we're in a really strong spot, right? We're in a really strong spot because my opponent, we know, has Regieleki, and we also know that it's a Choice Scarf Regieleki. So in order to... Yeah, like he can't really do... Okay, Calyrex, that's fine. So it's highly likely that my opponent is just going to max the Calyrex, right? Wait, Life Orb Regieleki? Okay, that's fine. We're still faster. We're faster now. Yeah, so in that case, the good thing is that I can clearly max Quake into the Regieleki, and then I can also Roost, right? Because I'm slower than the Regieleki. So the speed for this turn is going to be Seismitoad 1, Regieleki 2, Zapdos 3, and Calyrex 4. And so what happens with this particular turn is that my Zapdos is already +1. He's already +1, right? With special defense. So my opponent will need to max guard the Regieleki. Okay, so he's maxing the Calyrex, which I think personally is a bad move. Because what's going to happen is that both of my Pokemon, Zapdos and Seismitoad, will be +2 special defense, right? Which will make it extremely difficult for my opponent to actually do enough damage to KO me, right? Especially because I used Roost on Zapdos. And then what I can do next turn is use Eerie Impulse, and then I can Liquidation in the Rain, which is going to ensure that we can probably 2-hit the Calyrex. So watch this. He's going to use Max Ghost, and it's going to do like 40% damage to one of my Pokemon. And then next turn, we can hit it with the Eerie Impulse, and then, you know, we're pretty good to go from there. Bam. See? Nice health boost. Oh, Max Overgrowth. Okay, let's see how this goes. I don't think this KOs, but let's see how it goes. Yes, we survive. We are surviving, my friends, and we are thriving. There we go. Fantastic. See, like, it doesn't matter who I'm facing off against. Zacian, never heard of him. Calyrex, never heard of him. Seismitoad is the strongest Pokemon in the game. You know, in some situations, right? In some situations. So we can just go Liquidation here, and then we can go Eerie Impulse here. And the reason why this is so good is because, you know, Calyrex will be like -2 or whatever, and then he won't have any way to KO my Incineroar. Because, like, I'll just come in with my Incineroar later, and then I'll just use, like, Snarl, and then the game is over, right? Eerie Impulse, because we had the +1 speed boost from earlier, which means that Zapdos ends up being faster. Max Overgrowth again, that's fine. That's fine. Right? Because at this point, I just bring out Incineroar, and the game is over. Oh, he does get Grimnay, I guess. So I guess, like, you know, there is a little bit of danger there, but I don't think it's enough. Because he's -1 now, and then after this hit, he's going to be like -4 or whatever. So it's like, whatever. Yep. Incineroar. And then we can just use Snarl. And then we can just use Eerie Impulse again. So my opponent's Calyrex is -3. Yeah, now it's -3. It'll hit one of my Pokemon with an attack. Probably max Psychic on the Zapdos. Phantasm. Okay, that's fine. But like, look how little damage that does, right? Look how little damage that does. And then Incineroar hits it with the Snarl, and now it's -4. Oh, see, that does so much damage. The reason why it does so much damage is because Calyrex Shadow is 4 times weak to Incineroar, right? So if I wanted to play slow, if I wanted to play safe, then all I need to keep doing is just, like, you know, just hitting it with a Snarl, right? But if I wanted to be fast and, like, accelerate the game and just oh no, actually no, accelerating is a bad idea because this set is probably like choice Scarf, so it's like, it's actually pretty fast. So what we'll do is we'll just use Roost. There we go, because he has no way of breaking the Incineroar, right? Oh, we're still faster. Okay, whatever. It's whatever. This guy's -4 now. He needs to crit. Trick? I mean, oh, yeah, no, it is choice Specs. I'm okay with that. Because Snarl just KOs it. So, okay, cool. Okay, we won one back. We won one back, guys. We're almost getting back to the position where we were at the end of at the end of last stream. So fingers crossed we can continue. We can continue. But I think we'll do like 1 or 2 more games, right? Because I wanted to get to 15 games today and then do like a little bit of team building and talk a little bit about that. You know, I really like Seismitoad. He's such a cool Pokemon. But I do have other Pokemon that I potentially want to do, potentially want to team build with, right? And, you know, one of the Pokemon I wanted to team build with is Blastoise, right? Because, you know, I want to be on theme. It's like the tortoise. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at this. Oh, this is... Who's my max here? Because Seismitoad actually gets bodied by his Ferrothorn, right? So, okay. Consider this. Still Seismitoad lead. Grimmsnarl. Incineroar. Zapdos? I have to choose Zapdos, don't I? I have to at this rate. Yeah. So we're still gonna go with Seismitoad. I know it's so bad against my opponent's Ferrothorn, but we're still gonna lead it, and we're gonna try and bait the max overgrowth, and it's just gonna hit like the Incineroar or something along those lines, and we'll be, you know, like sort of safe. I think, maybe. I don't know, we'll find out. Right. Let's see what my opponent has for me today. Zacian! And Grimmsnarl. Okay, so he's playing defensive too. Wait, but this is really good for me. Hey, this is pretty good for me. Okay, so... he's gonna swap out into Zapdos. Surely he's gonna swap out into Zapdos. I'm feeling it. My opponent is going to swap in... Is it worth, though? I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, and you know why I'm gonna go for it? Because I'm playing Seismitoad. That's why I'm gonna go for it. He's gonna swap in Zapdos. No? Oh, man. Then I could have hit him with a max ground. That's still fine. So next turn... Okay, so if he didn't swap in Zapdos, it means that he probably doesn't have it. It means that he doesn't have it. But I assume he has Ferrothorn in the back. Reflect, that's okay. Yep. Scary face, good. And then we can reflect next turn. Hopefully my opponent actually goes after... my Grimmsnarl. I think that would be the ideal outcome, because then I could just bring in Incineroar next turn. Now that's fine, because it means that Max Geyser should KO next turn. Well, but let's see what he goes for. Okay, Behemoth Blade into Grimmsnarl. That's okay. I'm happy with that outcome. Just like, it's actually... How goes the bullying of children? No, we're facing off against... How are you going, by the way, Setsu? How are you going today? No, we're facing off against good players. We're at the portion of the ladder where we're facing, you know, probably decent players. It's not children bullying at this time. All right, so... we'll go Incineroar. I feel like my opponent has to swap out. Like, he has to swap out the Zacian at this point. But I don't know who he's going to swap it in for. I'm scared that he's going to swap it in for, like, the Zapdos. So what we're actually going to do... Did you hit Master already? No, not yet. We're still in Pokeball, but, like, the teams are good now. The teams are good. But how are you doing? We're going to hit the... We're going to hit that. I feel like Fake Out is too obvious. So I'm going to hit Parting Shot on the Zacian. Because I'm expecting it to swap out for something else. And then we can pivot the Incineroar this way. But we'll see what my opponent does. Just chilling after getting home from work and shower. That's good to hear. Yeah, withdrew. Please be Kyogre or Zapdos. Or maybe even Ferrothorn. That's okay too. Ferrothorn? Okay, good. Good. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Light Screen? That's okay. And the reason why that's okay is because I can go ahead and then bring out my Zapdos now. Or, little unfortunate that didn't KO, but I'm okay with the outcome. There we go. Nice. You know what? I actually... Okay. So, guys. Am I right to believe in the toad? That's the question today. Am I right to believe in the toad? Because I think this toad can survive. Oh, maybe not, because it's -1. He can survive. Ah, this is such an awkward position. Because I want to bring in Incineroar. I actually want to bring in Incineroar. Do I... Let's MLG. Let's MLG. It's time for the MLG. I'm going to withdraw my Dynamax Pokemon in order to preserve my Seismitoad for later. And I'm going to bring in Incineroar to ensure that my opponent's Ferrothorn is already -2 at the very start. Because I feel like it's going to max Overgrowth right into the Seismitoad slot. Like, that feels so obvious. But so what we can do now is we can Chain Intimidate. Yes, exactly. Oh, he's not going to attack it with anything. Oh, okay, so he's just going to Power Whip it. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Oh, Leech Seed. Oh, tricky. It's a stall Pokemon. Okay. Okay. So maybe so that means Body Press is its only attack. Okay. I mean, this is still fine. Oh, wait. No, he's going to max the Kyogre 100%, isn't he? He's going to max the Kyogre, which means that we actually do need to preserve it. And then what we can do is we can Eerie Impulse into it. Yep, this seems right. He's going to max the Kyogre. He's going to blast my Incineroar with a max water. So we have to use Zapdos to get it to -2. Yep, okay, cool. Especially because this particular Ferrothorn set is defensive. It's not offensive. So I think this is probably the best outcome that we can sort of like obtain for ourselves this time around. All right. Very nice. We're getting there. This is difficult though, because like I keep putting myself into weird positions because I keep wanting to show off the Seismitoad. Okay, Geyser. This might not even KO. Okay. Ah, that hurts, but not that much. Iron Defense, I'm okay with that. Because it's going to use Body Press. So what we can do with Zapdos, we can actually use Power Whip into the Kyogre, because we go first. And then we can use Roost to try and get our Zapdos nice and healthy, right? Nice. And that didn't do a lot of damage, but it did damage. So, good job, Seismitoad. Good job. A Roost. Very nice. If I can get, like, another hit. Geyser. Probably into Seismitoad this turn. Or maybe into Zapdos again. That's fine, as long as they didn't double it. Okay, that's fine. I'm very okay with this outcome. Because Incineroar can help take out the thing, right? Incineroar can take him out. So, I'm going to Power Whip again. I can bounce. And then we can just Roost again. Because now that my opponent doesn't have Rain, it's much more difficult for him, right? Because he doesn't have Rain, it's much more difficult for him. I don't think he can knock out the Zapdos at this stage. So we're doing alright. Geyser. This shouldn't KO either of my Mons, so I think I'm okay. Yep, there we go. Very nice, sir. I think if my opponent's smart, he would double the Zapdos here. But if we take a look, like that Power Whip does a lot of damage, right? Does a lot of damage. And so, Body Press. Okay, good. Well, not good. Yeah, the crit really hurts. I'm not gonna lie, the crit hurts. But I think that's an acceptable outcome. Because we can fake out next turn using Incineroar and then just like Thunder into the Kyogre if necessary. But I actually don't want to Thunder into the Kyogre, right? What I want to do is I want to heal up again. and then just fake out into the Kyogre and stall out the rain, right? Because my Incineroar is going to be, you know, what gets me through this game. So, like, my opponent doesn't have a lot of tools to take out Zapdos, and that's why, you know, he's sort of like trying to hit it with the Kyogre, because his other Pokemon don't have a good matchup on it. There we go. Okay, I'm faster too. That's really big to know. Lynched. Leech Seed into the Zapdos. Into Incineroar. Interesting. I thought he would go Leech Seed into the Zapdos. He's not paying the Zapdos any respect. Because, well, I mean, obviously, it's because I keep, doing the, Do I need to do anything here? I kind of don't want to Flare Blitz. Because, like, there's, like, still 3 turns of rain left, right? So what I'm actually going to do is this. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're just going to double. Yep, Thunder. That will KO. This should do like a quarter damage to Ferrothorn. Wow, that didn't okay, good. Good. Wow, that bad. Wait, who avoided there? Who avoided there? I was expecting that to KO. Why did that do so little? Yes! Zapdos avoided! Okay, we're in it. We're still in it, friends. We're still in it. I think this is... it depends. He's probably going to body press with the... He's probably going to... The Ferrothorn's probably going to body press. So I think that will spell doom for me, but we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out. Oh, he's going Leech Seed. That's not the play. I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's the play. But we'll see. So, Leech Seed, Protect, Body Press, Iron Defense. That's the Ferrothorn set. And I think he might Protect this turn. So, like, so here's the thing, right? I think that not KOing with Zapdos' Thunder probably loses me the game. Because I took too much damage on my Incineroar that it will now be able to one-hit me with an attack. So I don't think I'm going to win this, right? And there was like a roll. But I'm going to try my best. We're going to see what we can do. I don't think roosting... roosting has to be the option here, right? And then... you just hope for like a static discharge proc. And then we just keep roosting, right? Ah, okay. Static, okay. Yeah, we couldn't do anything about that, unfortunately. Okay, Flare Blitz. And then Body Pressure just KO the Incineroar from here. Yeah, unfortunate. We tried our best. We tried so hard. And we got so far. But in the end, it didn't really matter. I actually think we had a chance if the Zapdos had been able to knock out the Kyogre like a couple of turns ago. But you know what? Like, that's how the game goes, right? Dealing with RNG and stuff like that is a typical part of like how Pokemon works. And so the idea is that, you know, yes, RNG happens. Yes, you get unlucky and that kind of thing. But it is your responsibility, right? It's your responsibility to try and mitigate, right? Mitigate RNG as much as possible so that, you know, you're not really screwed over by it. And I think that definitely in my case, I've been a little bit poor in thinking ahead with my move selection, because the one thing that I've wanted to do and tried to do as much as possible is play with Seismitoad. Play with Seismitoad. If I didn't have Seismitoad in that game and I had Zacian, then I probably would have had a pretty good shot at winning, I think. Right? Because like Seismitoad, while cool, you know, it actually provided a pretty good matchup against a lot of my opponent's Pokemon. But the Ferrothorn was a real thorn in my side. And the fact that I had Seismitoad over a Pokemon that could handle it well was definitely a big part of why I struggled. You know, it's like, because I was trying to play around the Ferrothorn, but it was making it pretty difficult. And in the end, I just didn't have the tools that I needed to ensure victory. I also didn't play aggressive enough, right? So there's the sort of problem where you
have a super aggressive lead, you have a super aggressive start, but then you play defensively and you don't play to the strengths of the team. So on turn 2 there was a specific moment where, or even turn 1, turn 1, turn 2, where I didn't target my opponent's Zacian because I was paranoid about an opponent switching in with another Pokemon. And so what I should have done there was I should have just whacked the Zacian with my Seismitoad because I know it can do a good job against, you know, Zacian. And if I had done that earlier, then... Oh, shit, I didn't mean to... Okay. If I had done that earlier, I probably would have been able to win that game, right? So unfortunately, we went, you know, a little bit backwards today, right? We did... on the weekend, we did pretty well with, what was it? Like 8-2 record. And then now we've done a little bit worse with a 2-3 record. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm learning. I'm trying. I'm doing my best to try and get myself a, you know, better understanding of the current meta right now. And the reason why that's important is something we'll discuss in just a moment. So just wait for a second and bear with me.
It's one thing to enjoy leisurely battles, but real battles can be a severe trial.
Oh, right, I still had this
Truly
up.
strong
I'll
trainers
just let it play again.
sometimes must be prepared to choose Pokemon that can win, rather than their favorite Pokemon. So, if you're not rolling up with a Pokemon that's as powerful as Kyogre, or if you're not running with two Pokemon that's not as powerful as a Kyogre, or like a Groudon, or a Zacian, or something like that, then you're probably just gonna get rolled over, because the difference in base stats, you know, is just too big to surmount if you're just using, like, you know, your quote-unquote favorites, right? Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with the Pokemon that they love best.
Oh, Mike muted that. Thank you for reminding me, Setsu. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, like, big ups to Jizaku, because, like, he clipped that particular portion from that last stream where I was talking about how, you know, you got to choose strong Pokemon. You can't just use your favorites. That doesn't necessarily lead to, like, the best outcome. Sometimes you have to choose strong Pokemon, right? So, and so, like, you know, it just gave me the idea. Again, I was taking Turtle Transport on the way home, like I do when I got inspiration for, like, the for, like, the little skit, the little clip, right? It's like, oh, maybe I should just make it into something, right? Because I'm currently playing with Seismitoad, and I wanna, you know, I wanna have fun with it, right? I wanna have fun with Seismitoad, and I wanna show him off. And Seismitoad was a bit sketchy today, guys. I gotta be honest. He was a bit sketchy today. He did well in some games, and he did pretty badly in some others. But at the end of the day, he did well enough that, you know, he's a valued member of the team. And actually, Seismitoad is probably the main Dynamax Pokemon in the team, so I'm pretty happy with him overall. However, we can take a look here. I've got a team, right? Maybe I'll change it up a little bit later. But the one thing that we noticed, right? The one thing that I noticed from playing games today and playing games, you know, early on the weekend is that there are a few Pokemon that absolutely dominate the meta, right? And so what kind of Pokemon are you talking about, Toru? Well, we're talking about Pokemon like Kyogre. We're talking about Pokemon like Zacian. We're talking about Pokemon like Groudon was there a little bit, right? And we're also talking about Pokemon such as, you know, Calyrex Shadow, I think it was. Yeah, Calyrex Shadow, the ghost one. And so in order to counter... Oh, do I not have my BGM here? Hold on. No? Hopefully that's the right BGM. I don't remember. I hope, so to counter those sorts of Pokemon, right, we need a team that can soak up the damage that they output and then also sort of like one hit them in return, right? And so I've come up with these Pokemon. These maybe not necessarily like the strongest Pokemon in the meta right now. I mean, like there is Zacian, to be fair, but these might not necessarily be the strongest Pokemon. I haven't filled out like all the things yet, and the reason why I want to go with this team is mostly thematic, right? Is mostly thematic because I like a lot of these Pokemon. But first, and then like we can go over the choices and I can explain a little bit about like defensive cores and type synergies and that kind of thing. Because when you think about a specific type of team, right? Let's say the most common archetype that exists in competitive Pokemon right now is the Rain team, right? We're playing a Rain team. You got Kyogre, you got Zacian, you got Seismitoad, right? Rain team, water Pokemon based. So, you might ask, why then are most of your Pokemon not water Pokemon? Why do you have a bunch of Pokemon that, you supposedly have a Rain team, but why do you have an Incineroar, Why do you have a Grimmsnarl, Why do you have Pokemon that don't really take advantage of the fact that there's, rain on the field? And so the answer is basically flexibility, right? Because if you over-invest in a single type, in a single archetype, then what tends to happen is that you can find yourself extremely hard counted. And so what you need in order to build a team, build a decent team, is to have not only, the idea of a theme, like, what your team does, but also this idea of being aware and cognizant of the potential threats in that existing meta. So for example, we ran into a Rillaboom, we ran into a few Regieleki, right? And so for example, if we had all water Pokemon, right? You bring in Seismitoad, you bring in Kyogre, you bring in Blastoise, you bring in, I don't know, like all sorts of Pokemon. What are you going to do if your opponent comes out on the field with a Rillaboom and a Regieleki? You're going to do nothing. Your Pokemon are just all going to get one hit, right? And so you need to understand what Pokemon are strong in the meta, and you need to understand how Pokemon can defensively and offensively complement each other. And the reason why that's important is because you have two Pokemon on the field at any one time. So the idea is that you have Pokemon that can help cover up for potential weaknesses, right? And so by doing that, you're able to sort of protect, your powerful Pokemon, your chosen Pokemon with the others, right? And then you can take advantage of certain synergies and that kind of thing too, right? So this kind of team is, I don't know, this is just like a version 1 of what I want to do, because the problem is that the main star of this team is Galarian Articuno, right? And the reason why Galarian Articuno is, the ace of this team is because the tournament that takes place that I'll be competing in, you will receive a free Galarian Articuno for participation. A shiny one, actually. And it's like, this is like the only legal way to obtain shiny Articuno, or shiny Galarian Articuno, right? And so my thinking and my idea is that, hey, I'm going to make a team. I'm going to make a team that takes advantage, or that, that uses the Pokemon that we receive, and then it's not going to be shiny, and then I'm going to get the shiny Pokemon, and then I'm just going to use the shiny variant, in future incarnations of the team. And that's why this month we'll be going with Articuno, next month we'll be going with Zapdos, and the month after we'll be going with Moltres. So it's like super themed, right? It's super, super themed. And, I think it's a fun idea. I think it's a cool idea. There are a lot of question marks on it, simply because Galarian Articuno is not easy to fit into the current meta. But I think that because it's a legendary, it has strong stats, it has a good ability, I think we can try and make it work. Okay, so we talk about a few things first, right? What are the strong archetypes? Number 1 strong archetype, water, rain. Number 2, sun. Groudon, Venusaur, right? And so if we take a look at the team here, we have Blastoise and Venusaur to help against like the rain matchup, right? Because you have Kyogre, you have Seismitoad, you have Pokemon like that. They can't really dent Venusaur, right? They can't really hurt Venusaur. And they can't really hurt Blastoise all that much either, right? And then, Zacian obviously takes advantage of the rain because like fire Pokemon don't hit it that hard. We have a fire Pokemon here, which is the Reshiram, and it has, it has also Dragon type, so it can tank water attacks pretty well, especially with the Assault Vest, which increases our special defense stat, which is, all of the water attacks and everything. So, we have Pokemon that don't necessarily do amazing against water, but it has the capacity to sort of like, slow it down a bit, right? Because if we take a look at my previous team, right? Okay, Zacian. Zacian, Kyogre, Seismitoad, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Zapdos, right? Out of all those Pokemon, only Zapdos has a good matchup against Venusaur and Blastoise, right? And then we can use other Pokemon to our advantage, like our own Grimmsnarl or the Reshiram, because Reshiram has a good matchup into Zapdos, and then we can just slow it down that way, right? So we have Pokemon that can cover the others. But if my opponent, let's say they lead Kyogre, a Seismitoad, or they lead Kyogre and another Pokemon, you just start off with Blastoise, and it's really difficult for them to get going. You even lead with Venusaur, and it's a little bit difficult for them to get going. Maybe you don't want the Assault Vest on Reshiram. Maybe I want the Assault Vest on Venusaur, actually. But then we take a look at the grass, so the water matchup, and it's pretty decent, right? It's pretty decent. And then let's say, okay, sun matchup. Okay, so who's strong against sun? Well, number one, Venusaur, because Venusaur has the ability where if there's sun's out, guns out, Pokemon speed doubles. So Venusaur is a sun abuser. So in the sun, he's actually very, very strong, right? And we don't necessarily need Blastoise in that particular situation, but we can pair him up with Reshiram, right? Because Reshiram is a fire Pokemon. When the sun is out, you do more damage as a fire Pokemon. So for example, okay, so who are the Pokemon that do, who are the Pokemon that commonly appear in a sun team in this meta? Number one, Groudon. Number 2, Venusaur. Number 3, Charizard. Number 4, Zacian. Okay, so we take a look. Sun, right? We have Venusaur who comes out. We have Reshiram who comes out. And between those two Pokemon, we have a pretty powerful matchup into the main meta Pokemon in that team archetype. Venusaur, gets demolished by Charizard, don't get me wrong. Gets demolished by Charizard, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't do a whole lot against Reshiram, right? Reshiram's really strong into Charizard, right? Groudon is good into Reshiram, but then that's why you got Venusaur there, right? And then Zacian is actually weak against both Venusaur and Reshiram, right? Because Zacian can't do that much damage to Reshiram, and then Reshiram can just hit it with like a blue flare and just one-shot the Zacian instantly. Or Venusaur can use like Weather Ball, and then, in the sun, that's going to be Max Flare, and then that should one-shot Zacian. And so, based on the basic archetypes, there are different ways to deal with the big meta threats. And that's what this team is sort of built around, right? And then if we talk about a Pokemon like Calyrex Shadow, what kind of Pokemon is Calyrex Shadow? Calyrex Shadow is half Psychic and, it's half Psychic and half Ghost. And so in that particular case, that's why you got Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl actually has been functioning really well for me. In general, it has been functioning really well for me in general. And so on one hand, you have the ability to slow down opposing Calyrex, and then on the other hand, the Calyrex can't really do anything or can't do much to Grimmsnarl because Grimmsnarl is part dark, so it doesn't take any psychic damage. And then it's part fairy and dark, which both resist, dark resists ghost. So it doesn't take a lot of damage from Calyrex Shadow, and then in the meantime, it can slowly whittle it away and, reduce its threat into nothing, right? And so what are some other common Pokemon in the meta? What are some strong Pokemon in the meta, right? We encountered Rillaboom, we encountered Regieleki, and we encountered Incineroar, right? I would argue that those three are like the main non-legendary Pokemon in the meta right now. And we can check out a site like Pikalytics, right? Pikalytics. And then, you know, it'll be roughly correct. So like Incineroar, Regieleki, actually Grimmsnarl, and then Thundurus. Okay, so that's fine. Grimmsnarl, Thundurus, Regieleki, Incineroar. So Rillaboom is up there as well, right? It's up there as well. This is like a usage thing. So this website, Pikalytics, is like analytics for competitive Pokemon. And so this is a site that I like to use when I like looking at, you know, what teams are strong in the meta, what teams are being, you know, pretty powerful, right? I like Regieleki because it's cute. It is cute. It is cute. You know, sometimes I look at, you know, Regieleki, right? Like the way that it bounces around and stuff and it hops around, like, oh man, it looks cuter than usual today. I really do like Regieleki. But yeah, it's a good Pokemon though. It's a very powerful Pokemon. But if we take a look at those Pokemon, right? So, you know, Rillaboom, Regieleki, Incineroar, and that kind of thing, they all get curb stomped by Reshiram, right? Because they don't do any damage to Reshiram, and Reshiram has a way to hit them hard in return, right? And so, you know, it's the idea that you take Pokemon and then, you know, you sort of protect it. And so the value of a Pokemon like Galarian Articuno, right, would actually be into something like the Sun matchup, right? Because Galarian Articuno has pretty decent defensive bulk, special defense, right? And it's got competitive, right? So if you wanted to like threaten with a Zacian lead or something like that, and your opponent brings out Incineroar, which is kind of common in Sun teams, it's common in Rain teams as well, you can bring out your Galarian Articuno and you'll take advantage of the Incineroar's Intimidate ability and just double your special attack, right? And then it will get to the point where your Articuno will be able to start one-hitting opponent Pokemon, and so you can sort of snowball from there. And one thing I would like to do is the idea of pairing Galarian Articuno with the Grimmsnarl, right? Because what is Galarian Articuno weak to? Okay? It's weak to Ghost, it's weak to Dark. Grimmsnarl does really well into both those types of Pokemon. What else is it weak against? Rock, Electric, you know, Rock, Electric, and Ice, right? So to help deal with those other types, we have, you know, these other Pokemon. That's why you need to spread out your typings, right? You need to spread out your typings to ensure that if you need to pivot defensively or if you need to play offensively, you have a whole variety of different types of Pokemon on your team so that you can account for the most possible situations, right? And so, for example, if Articuno is threatened by Regieleki, I can just swap out into, you know, like Reshiram, or I can swap out into Venusaur. And, you know, Regieleki can't really do that much against these Pokemon. Right? Or, for example, if like a rock Pokemon is threatening me, then I just move out to Zacian. Likewise, if Zacian or Reshiram is threatened by a ground Pokemon, let's say Groudon, then I can swap out to Galarian Articuno, and its flying type will help mitigate, you know, the fact that Groudon is using ground attacks, because ground, you know, can't affect flying Pokemon, right? And so that's a little bit of the logic that I've used to like construct the team. Again, this is just a version 1. This is not, you know, this is not like all of the way there. It's not the full team or anything. Maybe I'll make some more changes before we do the tournament. But that's just a little bit of an insight of like how I build and how I put teams together, you know. And it's a little bit difficult because, you know, my starting point is an uncommon Pokemon like Galarian Articuno. It's not a Pokemon that I use often or anything along those lines. But it is definitely, you know, something that I'm trying to make work with a you know, somewhat unique team. I don't know how it goes. Wish me luck. Wish me luck is all I have to say about that. But just give me just a minute and we'll hop into like the chat. You know, it's like team building. I was only here for like 15 minutes talking about the team, but like this is probably like the version 1 of the team. So if this ends up being the final team, don't be too surprised, right? Don't be too surprised. All right. So am I... You know what? Ah, there we go. There we go. I'm on this desk, you know. Normally, Toru would be behind the desk, you know, talking to you all. But you know what? I'm feeling a little bratty today. We're going to stand on top of the desk. No one can stop me. No one can stop me, you know. This desk will be stood on, and I will suffer zero repercussions. Where's your T-pose? Oh, I don't have a T-pose as of the moment, Setsu. I don't have a T-pose. This chibi model was made by Kenjo, right? But it is still a work in progress. It is still a work in progress. It is not fully completed yet, and I will hope to, you know, show off the fully completed version some point in the future. Maybe once I start doing the tournaments, we can go ahead and do that. But, you know, as for the moment, it's just like a work in progress. And a lot of the basic functionality works. So I was like, you know, I want to use it. I want to play around with it. This model is awesome. This model is so fun. It's so much fun. I want to use it. So I'll be doing that, right? Maybe in the God of War streams, I might be doing a little bit more of that, let's say. But we'll see how we go. In the future. But yeah, what am I doing for the rest of this week, guys? What am I doing for the rest of this week? Where's my schedule? Where's my schedule? No, I do want to thank everybody for coming along. Really do appreciate it. You know, I'm a little bit bummed out that I didn't do as well in Pokemon today as I did on Saturday, but that's just, you know, that's just the luck of the draw. And it's a matter of learning how to play properly within the rule set, because definitely, although I still understand how to play Pokemon and understand how all of it goes, I definitely do not yet play in a way that befits the teams that I'm using. And I feel like once I start making my own teams to use, then that might turn around a little bit. But regardless, I'm not really that good of a Pokemon player. I like it a lot, but I wouldn't say that I'm that good at the game. So I don't think it's I don't think it's really, you know. Don't expect too much, guys. Don't expect too much. But let's take a look at the schedule for the rest of this week. What am I doing for the rest of this week? All right, so for the next couple of days, starting tomorrow and then continuing on Saturday, I'll be playing God of War. I'll be continuing God of War. I did mention at the start of the stream, right? I mentioned at the start of the stream that there are games coming out towards the end of this month, the start of next month, that I'm really looking forward to playing. And so I need to hurry my ass up and complete God of War. Because, like, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. It's really cool. It's really enjoyable. It's, you know, heartwarming. It has really strong story beats. A really nice integration of cinematics into the overall feel of immersion, right? But I need to finish the game. Because once Elden Ring comes out, I'm probably going to start playing that. When Elix 2 comes out, I'm probably going to start playing that. So I need to make sure I'm actually done with God of War before then. So we're going to be playing a little bit more God of War in the coming weeks. Hopefully I can play enough to, you know, get to the point where it's like, okay, I can, you know, we can finish the game or whatever. I think I'm about halfway through the game at the moment. So, you know, like that's all right. That's all right. But the big thing, I need to, like, chill it more, I guess, and talk about it more. But the big thing right now is that I will be doing a Valentine's Day stream next Monday. So you have the break there Sunday. The Monday after Valentine's Day, February 14th, I will be having a date stream. You will get to go on a little bit of a date with this turtle. So I hope you enjoy yourselves with that. I'm going to put, like, you know, it's going to be a little bit special. It's not just going to be, you know, just like a ordinary stream, I guess. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try a few things, and I hope they come off well. And I hope you guys are there, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll show off a few things. Well, we'll see how we go. That's the main thing. But I will be doing a Valentine's date stream on Monday at 8 p.m., which is like my usual streaming time on weekdays. But yeah, I want to thank you guys all for coming along. Whether you were here for a moment or whether you were here for the whole stream, I really appreciate your presence. Thank you again, Cadmis, for the follow. Do appreciate it. We're just going to hop off right now because, like, my voice is dead. My voice is fucking dead. So I'm not going to raid anybody today. I don't think we have that many people in chat. So I'm not going to raid anybody today. Maybe tomorrow we might. We'll see how we go. But my voice is dying. So I'm going to go and I'm going to drink myself, like, a lot of water to make up for the extreme dehydration my throat's currently suffering. But thank you guys so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. From Toru to you, thank you. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all around next time.